If you're looking for the best Black Friday deals on tools, scanners, jacks, we have it all coming up today in this very late edition, or kind of early, depending on how you look at it, of our live stream, which normally happens on Tuesdays. But today I completely forgot. So many people are actually leaving the office today. And so some of us, we went out for dinner. And so I apologize for the late start today. But starting us off with deals is a company that hardly has any deals. I've worked with Tecton before, and pretty much the reason why they never run sales is because their prices are very competitive as they are, and they run pretty close to the margins, if you will, all the time. So in that respect, there's not a lot of wiggle room for them as a company in their profit margin to make deals. They're not like a Harbor Freight that has like a standard price and then a sale price. That way there's some kind of margin of error, if you will. They're running it pretty close to the chest. I mean, there's the additional things that they have to do in terms of running a business, but what we can see here is they have an additional 20% off their entire outlet. Now, some of the stuff is going pretty fast. Like the stuff that I wanted is no longer here anymore. But if I were shopping today from scratch, this is one thing that I would totally pick up. The reason why they're getting rid of this set, the reason why it's on the outlet, is because their newer sets have triple squares. So if you're like me and you don't need triple square bits, this is perfect. This has your hex, your Torx, hex in metric, SAE. It has square, Phillips, slotted. It has pretty much everything, even security Torx. So you have the 177 plus an additional 20. So that's going to be like an additional $35 off. So this is going to be about 150-ish after tax, depending on where you live. And I personally have this set. I absolutely love it. The fact that it comes with the regular size bits as well as the longer bits, you can't really beat it, especially at this price. Most other places, like if we look at Harbor Freight, we look at their Quinn bit set. Let's see what we have here. It's $100 for 87 pieces. $80 for 87 pieces. So let's call it $1 a piece almost. A little less than that. Here we're getting 91 pieces. So 91. So 4 more pieces. But the bits are long. The long bits are longer in this particular set. And everything here is in 3/8 inch drive, versus with this bit set, you have some that are in 1/4 inch. You have some that are in 3/8, and then you also have some that are in 1/2 inch drive. So you kind of have a mismatch of sizes, if you will. So me in particular, the way that I like to organize my tool drawers is I have a 3/8 inch drawer. I have a 1/2 inch drawer for my impacts, a 1/2 inch for my chrome, and then I have a 1/4 inch. So I like to organize my drawers by drive sizes, and I keep the ratchets in there. I'm kind of like the weird person who doesn't keep all their sockets and all their bits in one place, and then their ratchet and their power tools in a completely separate drawer. Everything 3/8 is one drawer. Because 1/2 inch drive is so big, I have to separate them by chrome and impact, and then 1/4 inch is all in its own drawer. So this right here, this set would drive me nuts because I wouldn't be able to have everything that I want kind of like right in front of me. Versus this set, everything is 3/8, so this is all in one drawer for me personally. But if you don't have OCD as much as I do and you want to save a few extra bucks and pay about $80 versus the $150, and you don't need the extra length on it, then this is a perfectly fine set. Here's what I'll say too, is I'm not sure how it really goes. Like if you have to bring it back the entire set at Harbor Freight, and usually they're pretty chill. So let's just say you broke one and you lost another. typically what you could do at Harbor Freight is, you know, worst case scenario is you either go through their website, and if that they're unwilling to help you out there, the worst case scenario is you would have to just buy another one, return that with the defective one, and then there goes your warranty, and then you can kind of just swap out, if you will. You have to play a little bit of dancing with the returns and what's under warranty, but it's doable. With Tecton, in a set like this, all you have to do is just take a picture, because each individual unit has its own item number. You take a picture and they'll send you that one individual in mail. And the warranty process is very streamlined. All that you really do is, like, this is an example of all that you need to do. Attach your image, the item number. So let's go back and let's just say, what is this? Item number. And everything, all their bits have the numbers on it. So you just select that way they send you the right one. And boom, there you go. Your justification, all that other stuff. So that's going to be the number one, is Tecton, who normally does not do deals. They have a really good deal right now. If you're looking for a bit set, my preference is 3/8. I like the longer bits. I like the fact that this goes all the way up to a T60, which is really important for us BMW owners, versus the Harbor Freight. Let's see, how far do they take you in their 1/2-inch drive? Long SAE hex, metric hex. Oh, they don't have any 1/2-inch drive torques. 3/8-inch drive. No, that's e-torques. You see, that's the other thing. I don't like the e-torques broken up like that. I understand why they do it. I just personally don't like it. So the Torx bits, 1/4-inch drive, 3/8-inch drive, 1/2-inch drive, that goes all the way to T60 on a 1/2-inch drive, 3/8, 60 on a 3/8-inch drive. Okay, so that's pretty good. So this goes 3, 4. You get the 4.5 and the 5.5 all the way to 10. I don't think you get those. That's probably like what's the missing, is like the half sizes. Let's see here. Metric hex, standard SAE. Yeah, so you don't get the 4.5 or 5.5 right here. You just get the 4, the 5, and the 6. Normally not that big of a deal, but that's probably like the 4 pieces that are missing, or some of them. And then you have your square drives. So the benefit of this one is that it's better color coordinated, I think, personally. Which leads us right into Harbor Freight and their deals, which they always have deals. They have huge deals right now. The ones that I'm going to highlight, this one is the number one for me. I personally am going to pick this up. This is $70 off. This hardly goes this good of a deal. And I'm not getting it, I have lower cars, of course. So I don't really need this to lift up the car. It's when the car is already lifted, and in my particular case right now, I'm doing an exhaust. This would have helped me kind of, bring up the exhaust with the car lifted up, or bring it back down to hold the muffler in place, because when you have the car lifted up, the muffler sits even higher. It needs even more support, which one of my jacks does. So because I only have 2, my smaller one isn't very useful now that the car is up. So I would need a second jack to be helpful in this case. Now, I do wish that Harbor Freight, I wish that their lifting table was on sale. So I actually have this one, wonder what the difference is between these two. Oh, just color probably. Oh, here we go. $3.19. Oh, that's not that great of a deal. That's not that great of a deal. I think I picked this up when it was like you could get anything like 20% off or something like that, and I got it for like $300 after tax. So this is just an okay deal. I would say if it's on clearance, see if you can go to your store and see if you can pick one up for even cheaper with their Black Friday deals. But this, phenomenal. I was like, I used it for like one particular task, like when I was moving in and we were hauling a bunch of stuff back and forth. I got it just for that. And I was like, okay, maybe I can use it for other things. And I use it for like just other random things around the house. Like, so this is not what it's meant for, and it's completely unsafe. But, you know, when you're kind of in the heat of the moment, if you will. So, I was trying to hang up a hook for my double end bag in the garage, and I was just feeling lazy. So my buddy was kind of like trying to set the length so we could get the tension right. And I was like, no, not right there. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to get on the ladder because I'm just too lazy to get the ladder. So I rolled this out and I was like, just pump it up until I can get to the top, and then we'll adjust the tension as we need to. And so having this was just super helpful for that. Now, because it has wheels, you shouldn't be using it like a ladder, but it is what it is. The other thing that I really am interested in with Harbor Freight is their sockets. 40% off. I wish when I got their ball hex sockets that they were 40% off. I think Black Friday, they was just like another 20% off. So people are picking up like their swiveling sockets. So it's going to be like $60, just over $60 once the sale kicks in. Where are their ball hex? Right here. So I absolutely love this set and this set. I use them all the time and never regret it, because with a hex, it's like it's so easy to strip out sometimes you don't get it straight on with a regular size one. And when you're torquing something down, yes, you should use that. But if you're just using to get something on and off, these are excellent because you don't necessarily have to get it, center on. Like you have to get it into the fastener, into the head of it, into the seat. But you don't have to come in at that straight angle because they're a ball hex socket, so you can be off a little bit. It's almost like a swivel. So you can be off a little bit, but still be fully secured with the seating of the fastener and the tool. So I absolutely love this and this. 40% off. That's an amazing deal. Wobble extensions. Honestly, I would skip this. Get the Pittsburgh one. You're really not getting that much more value with these, in my personal opinion. You get a pretty cool case, but it takes up a ton of space. I have the Pittsburgh set. I would skip the icons. Same thing, the super long extension set, skip this, go with the Pittsburgh. You won't really notice a difference. I wish that the pliers were on sale. That would have been a good one. So, and see, the one thing that I do wish is that I wish they had an impact set of Torx and hex as well as e-Torx. They only have it in triple drive so far. I don't know why. But the swiveling, a lot of people really like those. So that might be something that you want to check out, as well as those ball hex. Because we already talked about, the versus getting these, like the regular straight hexes, I would say either get that Quinn set or get the one from Tekton. That's going to be the better deal. So this is going to help me stay track. And then you have another 40% off the Braun lights. The one that I like in particular, you have the folding light, which everybody loves. You have the regular flashlights and, the step down from the icon, the floodlights and all that stuff. The one that I really like, I picked up 2 of these. It's a rechargeable USB-C light. It's an inspection light, so it's not the brightest thing in the world. But if you are in a pinch, you're on the side of the road, if you smell something, you want to check if you have a leak, it's great. Plus, it has the little UV light right there. So if you're checking your car right after you did an oil change to make sure that there's no leaks, this is going to be phenomenal for that. If you smell, some oil burning or whatever, you have the UV light there for detection as well. So I picked up 2 of these when it was like another, oh no, it was this specific light that was on sale and 40% off. It's coming in just a little cheaper than when it was on its own individual sale. So I would recommend this light a lot. If you don't have a light in your car, this is the one to get. If you don't have a light in your car and you have a USB-C charger for your phone, this is the one to get, because you could just throw that cable in your spare or wherever as an emergency cable. But the fact that you have something in your car to charge this light, you're already good. We talked about the jack already. And this leads us into one thing that everybody always loves at Harbor Freight that is not on sale, and that is these double box end wrenches that are double-sided. They have one size on one end and one size on another. They skip the 9 and the 11, so it's 8 to 19. They come in this cool case, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wrenches in the metric set. On like the best tool deals that I've seen, it's like 180 with the coupon. Here's one that I'm going to recommend is the gear wrench set that I have. It, just like the Harbor Freight, it's very similar to these, but with spline drive. That also only goes to 19. So I had to individually source the 21 that I need and the 24 that I need. This goes all the way to 24 from 8 in one set for 180. This is a phenomenal deal. Let's see here. 43 ratings. It's either 5 or 4 stars. There's a couple of these. They get like free stuff, so you have a couple of those in there as well. These are all over TikTok as well. And I feel like you could say that people are paid on there, but TikTok is kind of like you get either the bottom of the barrel or the tippity of the top, if you will. You know, tippity top, I mean, they're over exaggerating. Bottom of the barrel is they're beating this thing, you know, all the way to the ground because it's horrible or it didn't deliver on its expectations, but it's probably not as bad as they made it seem. So if it was really bad, TikTok would have been all over it. These things probably aren't as good as what they're saying. It's probably like a couple steps down from that. At 180, let's see what it has been historically. It was at 143 at one point. That was nuts, probably. I should have picked it up back then. But, yeah. So I would say this is a pretty good deal, right? They're 21 to 24. Like if you're trying to just source that one set to round out your Harbor Freight ones, or even the gear wrench ones that I have, you're going to be paying like $82. 180 for 8 to 24. I don't know where you're going to get that. This is 12 point. So if you don't like the spline drive that comes on the gear wrench, this is great. If I'm not mistaken, these are a 90 tooth, the 0 degree offset, break loose, 180, 90 tooth. So the gear wrenches are 120. They make them, I believe, in 72. Like the 21 and the 24, I could only find in a 72 at the time. I don't know if they make them in their 90T now, but so this is going to be very comparable to the gear wrench because their 90T and their 72T is a 12 point. So it's going to be very comparable to that. The only thing that I'm questioning is their warranty. Return and refund. Let's see here. For non-qualified related, the buyer is responsible for shipping costs generated for non-equivalent. Refund your purchase price for the product itself. Let's see here. Limited warranty products. unique warranty that you can find on the okay. Is limited warranty provided by the manufacturer in no way affects. So their warranty is somewhat ambiguous, if you will. If somebody knows about this, please let us know in the comments. So the next thing that we have up in terms of tool deals, and I'm going to list everything down in the description. Let's finish up this Harbor Freight one actually really quick. They have all these other ones. I think the best one is going to be, the jack, the sockets. If you don't have any tool storage, or if you want a mobile one, their 5-drawer tool chest is on sale. I prefer the 4 because you get a bigger opening down here. I don't really need the 5th drawer. Just the opening down here for whatever I need is better. And the cool thing is most of the accessories on the 4 drawer will fit on the 5 as well. Let's see here. I wish they had the flyer. Deals. Okay, so here are all their deals. Like I said, is this jack, and this jack, like all of these jacks, they're not the best deal. Like if you need a jack, of course, go ahead and get it. But these aren't the best deals of their jacks that we've seen even in the last 3 months. Let's see here. These are all their early Black Friday. We kind of went through some of this stuff already last week. I would really say that their best deals are 1, 2, and 3. If you need a generator, there's a generator there. However, scan tools. This scan tool at $140, this thing used to be cheaper, so I guess that's inflation for you. So $50 off $190, so you're going to be paying, let's call it $150. $150 for free updates on a bidirectional tool, I think is a really good deal. The one thing that I do want to nitpick is that the cord that it comes with, it's pretty short. Like this cord right here, that thing is really short. And so I wish it was a little bit longer, but at this price point, what are you, it's kind of, you get what you pay for, especially when the price was lower. The price was like $150 before. Like this deal right now is what it used to be like regularly. So this price went up mostly because of inflation, I think. So if you're like $150, that's a lot, I could get something better. This is a little bit more feature packed, but it only has 2 years of free updates. However, if you're not buying a new car all the time, this is going to be fine as well. It's a wireless dongle, so you can move around wherever. If you want something even smaller, actually, I just thought of it. Let's see how this one's doing. $50. $50 for wireless dongle, bidirectional. All 3 are bidirectional. This one hooks up to your phone. However, you only get 1 year worth of free updates. I don't know when they say like 1 year of the subscription, if that's the app, but for $50, it's not bad. But if you plan to use this a lot over the course of a longer period of time, I would say the other one is worth your money. In the course of 3 years, actually no, 2, because it's $50 and then you get the first subscription. And then after that, the subscriptions end up being more than this. So I would recommend the first one. I would recommend this one. If you're looking at this one at $120, just jump to this one. It's worth the extra. Let's see here. Next up is going to be jumpers. Now, I don't think that they have started just yet, but keep an eye on anti-gravity, because this thing right here, this XP15, I love to death because it's a jumper. It can quick charge your phones as well. So it's like a power bank, and it's also an air inflator all in one in a very compact size. At 180, let's see here. it's about the same price as the M18 inflator. Now, it's not as powerful in terms of inflating capabilities as the M18. It's noticeably different. It's not as low as this other one that I'm going to pull up. But the fact that it can jump, the fact that it can quick charge, it comes with all the accessories that you need, and it's super compact. That in itself, to me, makes it worth it. The fact that it comes in very close to the M18 with all those additional things and the additional portability of it make it at a pretty competitive price point. I think that it's also going to go on sale. So let's see here. So this one I reviewed not too long ago from Amazon. This thing, it's the same thing. It can charge your phone and it can act as a bank and stuff. It's more portable than the XP15, but it's, let's see here, it's $100. You know, when it was, so before the deals came in, right? When this was 160 and when this was 180, I would say get this. It has more jump. Well, one, it's a jumper. The other one's just an air inflator. So there's nothing even to compare. Like this one can jump your car, this one can't. At like $20 more, you're gonna get a jumper. Yeah, you can fast charge. You can. It's, what is it? Super quick charge your phone. It's like the top whatever it is for this one. You can't do that with this one. Now it's nice that you have an AC charger there or a cigarette lighter charger there, and this thing performs pretty well. Until you get to the 40 PSIs, this thing, you know, doesn't do too shabby compared to the M18. At $100, you're gonna have to evaluate, do you want the 2-in-1? Like if you already have a jumper, do you really need to get the XP15? Or do you just need an air inflator that's super portable that has all of the, you know, hoses and attachments that you'll possibly need? It even has a deflate feature. So that's the benefit of this one. But the reason why I brought up anti-gravity is not just because of the XP15, but, you know, I am affiliated with them, so the links down below are affiliate links. But here you go. This is what I have from my email from Anti-Gravity. 15% on automotive, 20% on power sports, 30% on the micro starts, power stations, and solar. So I don't know if this XP15 is going to get an extra 30% off. So 30%, that's 18 times 3, that's like 50. So it's going to be close to $60. Let's call it $50. So it's going to be $130. It's going to be a little less than $130. Is that worth $30 more than this? I think so. I think so. Deep cycle batteries, 30% off battery chargers. At the 10 a.m. charger cycle purchase, 50% off. What's this one? Oh, this is like a battery tracker. So it kind of tracks the performance of your battery, if you will. I'm not sure if everyone's going to want that, but these deals are way better. Like normally what I can give out is 10%. So 15 is already better. 20, 30, 50, 30, 50%. The other thing too is if you need a battery for your car, let's see what this is going to be. Honestly, you don't really need that much. You go 40 or 60, you don't really need anything crazy. It's just like the reason why you would want a bigger battery is if you're going to leave your car off for a longer period of time. But if you use your car as a daily, 40 is going to be fine. You get 60 if you really want, but 80 is a bit much. 15% off of that. So that's going to be 9130. Is that right? $950. think that's right. It's going to be just under 150 off. So it's going to be close to 800, just a little over 800. The weight savings, if you track your car, if you want to reduce as much weight as possible, if you don't want to carry a jumper, this thing has a self-jump feature. This is the way to go. Or if you want to pick up something really cheap under the $200 price point, one of my buddies at the gym for his 2 Series just picked up an interstate battery from Costco for like $180, he said, after tax. So if you want a high performance battery, this is the way to go. It's lithium, it's super lightweight, it has a self jumping capability in of itself. So you don't need to carry a jumper with you if you don't want to. If you wanted to roll with this and save the $30, get this, good to go. But if you want to save the most amount of money as possible, you don't care about the weight, you just want a battery that runs, Costco for $180 after tax in California. So if you live in another state, it's going to be cheaper because we have like the highest tax here, and our gas prices are going to go up because of that. Now, if you just want a jumper, say you get the regular battery, and you want a simple jumper, you could pick this one up. Link is also in the description. Discount code is right there, and you could grab this jumper for $50. This thing is pretty compact for what it is. I think it'll fast charge your phone. The last I checked, it doesn't super fast charge the phone. This thing is pretty capable too as a jumper. It's very powerful for its size. At $50, I think this is like the de facto brand that most people go to. So $100. Let's see here. Ampake 4,000 amps, 15, 2,000, 40. It's going to be close to this. It's going to be somewhere in between this. So for what Noco is charging, it's, let's just say the 200, somewhere in like 200. You're getting this for $50. And if I'm not mistaken too, those are Noco chargers too. The thing that upset me about this, and it's a nitpick, I'll admit it's a nitpick, they use micro USB unless they've changed it. At least the amp bank, they use USB type C. Like nobody uses micro anymore. Small nitpick, I know, but at $50, that's the main selling point, is at 4,000 amps for the jumper. Noco's charging north of 300 for it. You can argue that you don't really need it. It's slimmer than this one. It's probably a little longer though. And it comes with a case. These Nocos, they don't come with a case. So you have to get the case on its own. This one, let's see if they show the case here. Yeah, comes with the case that holds everything. The Nocos, you have to buy the case separately. Let's see here. So even if you got this one, you're like, oh no, I just want to get this one. The case is an extra $20. So you're going to be 120 versus 50 after the discount code. Even without the discount code, this is a better price. But discount code is there, so I would, of course, recommend that you use it. With that, let's open it up for Q&A. Again, everybody, sorry coming in late. It's just the holidays, and you know, since I'm not going to see anybody for probably like the better part of 2 weeks, I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's. And plus, I'm off schedule. I normally do the streams on Tuesday, so it was hard for me to really say no. And you know, I wanted to make sure that I got to see everybody before the holiday. James, I'm listening at work. I usually end up missing your streams. Oh, well, I guess I'm glad that this kind of mismatch of schedules and the later time worked out for you today. I know it's run really late today. I wanted to stay late to get a lot of extra work done. And then everyone's like, you know, let's just all go out, you know, before. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. All of you guys are like not coming in. I can't really say much because I'm supposed to come in tomorrow, but I'm taking it off. And then So I'm pretty much just coming in today, Wednesday, and then that's it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make up for it and just bite the bullet, put in the time today. So I don't really have anything to worry about too much on Wednesday. If I can on Wednesday, I'm honestly going to try to do like a half day, or if it's raining really hard in the morning, I don't mind staying late. If it rains really hard in the morning, I know that traffic is going to be abysmal. So if it rains really hard on Wednesday, I'm just going to like sleep in, come in late, and avoid that traffic. Any specials on BM3? Let's see here. It looks like Keys is running a deal. Extreme Powerhouse is running the same deal. Ooh, who is this? True Cane Motorsports. I don't know them. Let's see here. What are they running? Oh, so it's running like about 600, depending on what chassis you have. 800, 400, 500. Yeah, so Keys is definitely a better deal. Let me see if my buddies over here. Okay, let's see what we got here. Boot mode. Is it one word? Here we go. Yep. Looks like they're matched up too. For the most, yep. It looks like the price is already. Let's see if there's a 20 off of this. I think that's already the price. Let's see this. Add to cart, checkout. Yep, it's already applied. Okay. So yeah, there are some deals that are going on right now. Let's see. Oh, okay, some new wheels over there. Or actually, they're not new. They're just popped up. Any good shops here at the Bay Area? I'm in Daly City. So I really only know SU Bimmer. So here is all of their information. I wouldn't say that they're cheap. They're very reasonably priced considering their workload. Let me see. Copy. Paste. How come it won't let me copy this? Okay. There we go. They're reasonably priced considering their workload and the fact, that they're a specialty shop that's been around for a very long time. It's comparable to other shops in the area. Their pricing isn't that far off if you call any other specialty shop. It just depends on who can slot you in and if you're willing to go there, because you're on the other side of the bay, Daly City. You can give them a call, ask them that I referred you to them, and see if that will help you out. You can ask to talk to Ricardo or Dennis, and tell them that you're that I referred you over to them. They also do have a so that's their website. You can also find them. SV stands for Silicon Valley Bimmer. So you can schedule an appointment online. This is that aspect of their website. Phone numbers right there. And they even have a YouTube page. So hopefully that helps you out. If there's something more that I can help you out with, you guys can always reach out to me at Instagram at RoomTuber, or even on TikTok now that they do DMs over there. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Like I said, you can ask to talk to Ricardo or Dennis, and tell them that I recommended you, and you could tell them that you found them on YouTube, or whatever. Say nice things, if you will. And they're pretty busy though. Depending on how intensive of a job that you're asking, they might schedule like a week or two out, depending on what the job is. If it's something pretty quick, they might be able to slide you in during the week. Like if you called on Monday, they might be able to slide you in on a Thursday or a Friday. Generally speaking, like this week Thursday, it's a holiday, and I don't know if they're going to take off the Friday. But generally speaking, if you call on a Monday, and if it's not too intensive, they might be able to slide you in on a Thursday or Friday. If it's kind of intensive, like it's going to take some time, like say, for example, you're like, oh, hey, could you do my brakes and suspension since you're going to have all the wheels off anyways? Okay, maybe they'll schedule a week out. If it's something like, hey, can you do the oil pan gasket, which is going to require them to drop the subframe, and it's going to it's not just in that it's a big task, but it's a big task that takes time from the tech, because they have to go slow as they're dropping the subframe. They have to realign everything. They have to disconnect all the suspension, stuff like that. They might schedule you 2 weeks out. So that could be an issue depending on you being in Daly City. I don't know any shops in Daly City. Everything else that I know in terms of shop that is not SC Bimmer, I only know off of reputation. So whether it be their YouTube reputation or reputations of friends, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because before I ever went to SC Bimmer, when I called people to say, hey, could you recommend a shop to me? They recommended SC Bimmer. And so it's not the worst thing in the world to go off of word of mouth. I think it's the best thing in terms of reliability. Like people can lie on Yelp ads, Google reviews, and things like that. Word of mouth, it is what it is. The people have actually been there, or they know someone that's been there, and they've interacted with the people before. So word of mouth, no matter how good technology is still the best form of advertisement. Nick, are those a Platinum Tool ATD double box wrench? I think the icon, if I'm not mistaken, I think Platinum, Mountain, Easy Red, those are all the same. The Toolent one, I don't think is that one. Toolent is its own. I've never seen anything like the ones from Toolent, other than the ones from Gear Wrench. But the reason why I would say that they're different is the reason why I do believe that they're different is that they have like that satin rough kind of finish, versus Gear Wrench, it's that polished chrome. And these have a fixed end at one end and a ratcheting end at the other, versus the Platinum, Easy Red, Icons, on and on and on. They're ratcheting of two different sizes at each end. This, when you have a 19 millimeter wrench, it's fixed on one end 19, and then you have the flex ratcheting end on the other. Let's see here. You can actually like see it. See, like it has that satin finish to it. It's not polished chrome, which isn't a bad look. Like if you're absolutely in love with the polished chrome because it's easy to clean and all that stuff, then obviously this isn't for you. That little indicator there's kind of nice too. When you have a ratcheting mechanism that isn't reversible by a switch and you have to flip it, this little indicator arrow is very nice. You know, you can't always spin it by hand. Of course, when you pull it out of the drawer, you can. But like if you're on a creeper and you put it on the side and then you need to reach for it, you're grabbing it, you're not looking at it. Maybe your hand is doing something else, like holding up the part, and then you have to just get the wrench on there. It's nice that you can just, oh, look at it, versus like, So that's a nice feature. Yeah, so personally, I'm kind of weird in the sense of I like the polished chrome look because it is easier to clean. It doesn't hold onto dirt as much. However, because I do a lot of filming, I prefer the satin finish because it doesn't reflect the light as hard. So if I'm trying to film, like right now I'm doing the exhaust, when I had to hook up the downpipe to the exhaust and I had the light right there, my gear wrench, torque wrench, because that thing was it's like a really nice polished chrome. It looks amazing. But I had to move my light and I'm underneath the car and I'm like, oh my goodness, the light is reflecting and I can't really show what I'm doing. So if I had a satin torque wrench, it would have been much better. Nick, those are non-reversible, easy to get backed into a corner. It is. I mean, that is true. Honestly, I've never had the situation. I'm not a professional though, so if you really need the ones with the switch, I think you're kind of stuck with the snap-on version. If I'm not mistaken, snap-on is the only one that has a switch. That's like a full set. The other ones, like you have to piecemeal it together. Like I said, like you could get the Easy Reds, the Icons, all of those. They do like the 8 to 19, but they skip the 9 and the 11. So you get the 8 to the 19, and then you have to get another set of the 21 and the 24. So yeah, I mean, yes, you can get backed into a corner. I've never had it really be an issue. You do have to worry about the bigger bulk in there. So usually, like when I'm looking at this, I'm also kind of evaluating, if you will. All right, so when people say, oh, you're going to get backed into a corner. True. This is a bulkier mechanism. You have that lock switch right there on the head. It's not like on the ratchet where it's on the top, versus this one, right? This is a much smaller head. There's no mechanism to worry about getting bumped. In worst case scenario, you have the fixed end, and that's going to be smaller than anything else. So it's up to you. It's your personal preference. If you feel that you want the extra security, you could go with these. And if you want the offset, you know, you have like that 0 offset, you have that extra little bit of width right there, you can get that. Versus here, you're only going to get that, and it's not going to be as deep with the fixed end. So there are trade-offs, if you will. If you have all the money in the world, get both. My personal preference, bang for the buck, as a DIYer in the garage, I'm going to go with this. With a caveat. Email Toolant and see if these are if these have a lifetime warranty. If they are, please let us know. And in that case, this is it. $129 for the 19 set. Oh, sorry. Hold on, how come I can't? 8 to 24, 180. Here we go. This is what I'm going to go with. If this is covered by a lifetime warranty, I'm getting this set. I don't need the 20. Nobody ever needs a 20. I'm sorry, I'm not nobody. I'm sure somebody does. But it's a very uncommon size that not a lot of companies offer. Even the other ones that I mentioned don't cover the 20. So at 180, bang for the buck. This is the way to go. If you want, the same style, the long wrenches with the reversing switch, wait for these to go on sale, and then just get the bigger set, the 21, 22, 23, 24 set individually. But that's going to be like $80, $90, $100, depending on the time of the year. So let's see if those are on sale. $135. My goodness. But this is it. Let's see if we got any cheaper. Nope, that's the one. Whew. Oh, sorry. It's 21, 24, 22, and 25. No 23, no 20. 135. Wow, that went up. That went way up. This is almost the same price as this set. You could literally buy, oh man, it's only $50 less. So when this is on sale, this set is the price of this. Man, that's like I said, it's if you want that reversing switch, you got to pay to play, kind of. If you're lucky, maybe you'll get somebody who sells it on eBay and or Facebook Marketplace, and Harbor Freight's always good with their warranty. 180 when these things are on sale. I'm telling you, it's going to be the same price as this. So you're missing out on the, let's see here. You are going to get 21, 22, 23, and 24. If you need 25, then yeah, this is the way to go. But if you don't need 25, bang for the buck. I have no long wrenches and I need a set. I'm getting this one. Caveat with the warranty. Just check on the warranty. I have a 435 with full AWE catback. Nice. That's the setup that I wanted. I'm running a different exhaust. That video should be coming out soon. Trying to get a catted downpipe. I'm old and hate the smell of catless. Any decent brand you recommend, not Fab Speed price. Catted downpipes are like, you got to pay to play because they have more of the precious minerals in them, more of the precious metals. And so that higher concentration is what leads to them having a smaller cat that's going to be as equal as effective to get rid of the smell. Generally speaking, even with a full straight pipe exhaust, if you're leaking and you can smell it, either the clamp isn't on tight enough or the little teeth. So it could be one of three things. It's either one, the clamp isn't tight enough from the downpipe to the exhaust. It's not tight enough. Or I think in the 435s and the 335s, it's a little different than the 3 and the 4s. I think they're the same. The 2 is different. The 2, it has a, it's easier if I just show it. I think the 3s and the 4s have a traditional that diamond shape with the 2 bolts and the gasket, if I'm not mistaken, or it slides in. It slides in with hose clamps. The 2 series is a little different. Let me see if I can find it here. So you can see here that you have this clamp, and it's the mating surface is weird. It's like they kind of like just get smushed together, if you will. So like the downpipe fills up this half of the clamp, and then the exhaust takes up this half of the clamp, and they meet in the middle at the bulge. Let's see if I took it. Okay. So you see that right there? Oh, I can't do that. Yeah. See how it has that little rounded lip right there versus see how it has that rounded lip? It fits in that. So either this is not sealing right, or ooh, let's see if I got it. So on the turbo to downpipe side, there's a gasket inside here. It's like a metal washer gasket kind of thing. This might be gone as well. So what I would recommend is before you drop all the money into a catted downpipe, which can be very expensive, like cheap catted downpipes, you get what you pay for. What I would recommend is see if you can find this gasket. This thing right here. There's your part number for you. It's about $25. You go to dealership, you're not really going to be saving that much money by buying it online. If you really hate the smell, grab that gasket, pull off your downpipe, and even if you have another one there, maybe there's some kind of leak in there. It's hard to really tell unless it's really beaten up. Pull it out with a pick tool, throw in the new one, pat it in, put in your new downpipe. And the hard part with the downpipe is when you're trying to crank on it from right in here, getting through this mount for, I think this is the engine mount, getting through the support for the mount is hard, but as best you can, crank on that with the new gasket. And then when you're here, crank on this. Just crank it. I have an M12 stubby, not the brand new one, but the old one that does like 2 something foot-pounds. I put it on power 3, I cranked it, and then I still gave it a few more turns with the ratchet. I would always recommend when it comes to clamps like this, and even exhaust clamps, finish it off by hand because you really want to get the feel of the threads so you don't strip out the threads. And then see if you have a leak. Because this is my downpipe, and I don't smell any exhaust leak. Nick, for some reason we can't see the link that you sent. Scat Pack 10, you must be on Pacific time. I am, but I'm still pretty tired. Today was a longer day than I had anticipated. And then I still got to get back home to finish off that exhaust. And then I got to eat dinner too. Well, I know that, I ate dinner, but I know that once I'm done working, something about working on the car is like always whenever you're done, I don't know if it's just me, as soon as I'm done, I always get hungry. So there's going to be that. I know. That's always a thing. So that would be my recommendation in terms of a catted downpipe is you really get what you pay for. You don't want to cheap out on those things if you're getting it for the purposes of passing emissions, or if you want to or if you want to get rid of the smell. So I would say check the gasket, crank on the clamps, make sure you have a good seat. Oh yeah, the other thing too is I should have, let's see if I got it here. There are, so the gasket that I mean the clamp that I was mentioning, this clamp, you see that little protrusion that's coming out, that little hook right there? Those are like teeth that go on to either your downpipe or your cat. That also helps with the seal. So make sure that that comes, and it's weird. It's super weird. I had no idea. This outer clamp and those teeth that go on the inside, those are two different part numbers. So when you go to BMW, make sure you get both. They're supposed to work together. It's supposed to be one-time use, but I reuse mine all the time. And I mean, I reuse it from the downpipe to the cat to the I use the original one from my cat to the downpipe and then reverse again. And it's held up just fine. But make sure that if you are getting the gasket, get this clamp, get those teeth that go inside this clamp, and crank on them. What I think about the F3328i 2014 with 185, ooh, that's a bit high. 2014 is kind of the bridge of when they fixed the timing chain guide. So that's a pretty good year to get. The later, if it's in the later part of 2014, it's pretty safe. 185 is pretty high, depends on how much you're getting it for. I would say, let's look at prices right now. Ooh, that's high. 168. $110, I think that's high too. I bought mine. So mine, I knew that I had to pay the upcharge on it because manual is hard to find. I think I paid 15 all in, like maybe 15.5. Mine had like 120. It was a manual, but it had everything. For the most part, it had the sport seats, it had the nav pack, it had the heads-up display, it had all that stuff on there. So I was pretty okay with paying it at the time because a manual is really hard to find. But if you're getting an automatic, I would say throw in yeah, I would say offer 5 or 6, and you could go up to 65 in the actual buying price. That's really high though. I would say, depending on the condition of the car, not just the miles, offer 5, 55. And if they try to push you to 6.5, I guess you could take it. Depends on how much you're in love with it. Let's see here. ATD. Oh, 120. Not bad. Oh, that's on AliExpress. Do that at your own discretion. 169, not bad. Comes in at a very competitive price point. 8 to 19. This is cheaper than what Harbor Freight would go for. Harbor Freight will do a sale at like 180-ish. So that great find. Thanks, Nick. Nice. Elgato. I already have the car. doing kind of tunes, but I'm trying to get everything serviced in time because I don't want the car. I don't want to blow the engine. I got the car for, okay, that's not bad. That's pretty good. Perfect condition, bought from Old Man. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. You know, basically with those cars, it's just frequent oil changes. Pretty much that's it. Oil changes, make sure your gaskets are replaced. Those cars are pretty solid. Those older ones, 4-cylinder, they just get hot. So, you know, stay on top of your cooling and it should be okay. The car just have the grinding noise from the brake cables, but I already have the parts. Okay, yeah. That always happens. Justin has a really good video on that. Right there. I think that's the thing that you're referencing. Nick, these are made in the same factories. Yeah, they're all made in the same place. Yeah, they're all just stamped with their specific company's branding. Basically, I forget, I think it's Kaba Tools has the patent on that and they source it out. So whoever has that design is buying rights to that design. Like there's nobody with that design that isn't getting it out of the same factory because they're all getting it from that parent company. All right. So if that's it, it is almost midnight. Oh my goodness. I've been here too long. So it was great hanging out with you guys. I was actually surprised with how many people were here today. I thought I was just going to run through the thing and I would leave it up for people to check out in the future with, you know, Black Friday approaching. But, you know, thanks for everybody who showed out. Delgado, thanks. Yep. You have a good night too. Yeah. If you want, feel free to tag me on Instagram so I can see your build. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see like kind of like before and after too. Yeah. So, you know, thanks everybody for keeping me company tonight. I hope all of you enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy the holiday, have a fun time, grab some good deals, and I look forward to seeing what you guys pick up. Feel free to share whatever deals that you guys have and want to share. Drop it in the comment section even after the video. That way it helps out other people. I hope all of you enjoy your time off, relax with friends and family, and I look forward to seeing all of you next Tuesday.